Life's a gamble, take a chance in the twilight of fortune's dance.
In this episode of Sin City Spin, we talk about the tragic wildfires in LA, the boring tunnel loop, why Vegas is just better, and is AI a tool or the end? Thanks for joining us.
Host with voices rich and cool, share the secrets, break the rules. Martini wisdom flows like gold, every episode a story told.
Greetings from fabulous Las Vegas. I'm the guy who always returns my shopping cart to the corral. I'm Jason Slider LeDuc. To my left, he's not allowed in the veggie section of the supermarket anymore. True story. It's Drew Masur. And at the far end, as the counter guy at the auto parts store calls him, that friggin' guy, it's Christian Mental Ward. Thank you for joining us. We are Sin City Spin. You are hearing this on or after Monday, January 20th. Let's kick it over to Mental because he's got our hot topic today.
We're going to talk about the California wildfires and what that means for some of the surrounding communities, especially this surrounding community, Las Vegas. Now, obviously, our hearts go out to anyone that's been displaced by those fires. As of the time of this recording, it's 15,000 structures have been destroyed. And just to give us some scope on this, right now, the population of Las Vegas is right about 650,000 people. Los Angeles is at 3.8 million. With everything that's going on, my thing is we can expect, and I don't think this is that big of a leap, two immediate consequences. First, building materials all throughout the Southwest are going to get more expensive. Think about everything in NOLA. Anytime there's the natural disaster, the exit of this. And the second one is we can expect an increase in housing cost and rent here in the Valley. Recently, our local Fox, they interviewed the University of Nevada, Las Vegas economist Nicholas Irwin. Quote, "We may see some people relocating here temporarily while they wait out the damage. It's going to be a long process to rebuild all those houses, just waiting for insurance payouts, limited amount of construction force to rebuild." A 1% increase in population usually corresponds to a similar increase in housing values. Now, the Las Vegas market is actually already kind of hot. Single family homes here in Las Vegas, they've been up 7% from last year, and it has seen a steady 12% growth over the last few years. Not an increase in price, but sales. Prices have been hovering right about an increase of 5%. But supply has been slowly shifting from a seller's market to a more balanced market. Current inventory here in Las Vegas is about 3 months. The agreed upon standard is a 6-month supply of housing is considered balanced. I'm going to say, no, we're departing fact, we're going to opinion. Two things. One, we are overdue for a market correction, and this is going to artificially inflate that market for a few more years. There's a whole lot of people that are going to get priced out of LA just because they can't afford to move back there, and they might even get completely priced out of California. This is, I think, the unseen consequences of what is going to happen is we're going to see an increase in our not unsubstantial population that is experiencing homelessness. We are already kind of setting records in that area. Now, market rent in Southern Nevada has been rose 20% from 22 to 23, and that is higher than the national average. And last year, we hit a 10-year high with almost 8,000 unhoused people, and that is an increase of 56% over 3 years. That is 7 times the national average. And just to throw this as a terror number out there, 1,200 to 1,500 of those people live in flood control tunnels beneath the city. So you are going to see people that are on that bubble, your working poor that are living in their cars or just one payment away from that, or people that can barely afford rent. I think you're going to see them squeezed out of a market here by people that can come here and start slinging around a lot more money. I'm not happy about that. I mean, we're already trying to wrap our hands around this, the unhoused population. It's a multifaceted aspect. I hate the idea that anytime anyone goes, well, all you have to do is X. That's stupid. No, this is a complicated, multifaceted, not to mention you've got a host of different things affecting people who are experiencing homelessness. Some are just working poor, living out of their cars. Some of them have mental illness. I would argue also that if you live on the streets for 3 months or more, if you don't have mental illness when you start, you will. It just that much time being looked upon and treated like a subhuman, all of that kind of stuff. It's going to be an issue. And one of the issues before is they've passed a law that does not allow sleeping outdoors in non-camping areas. And the chief of police in Las Vegas has said this is not an excuse. They do not want to arrest them because they don't want to put them in jail. But we've got to wrap our hands around this, and here we are we're going to be seeing more.
Well, spot on. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. First and foremost, I want to say absolutely we are genuinely sorry for anyone affected by those fires out in California. Anytime a natural disaster comes, it's heartbreaking, the tragic loss. But shortly behind that are the windfalls sometimes of government aid, disaster recovery, and what all those things look like. And you're absolutely right. Housing was a problem before 15,000 structures were damaged or burned. Slider, you want to take it first, or you want me to like kick this can down the road a little bit and get it started?
Yeah, I concur. Right, we're any natural disaster we see. I remember you were living here. I don't think you were here when Katrina happened.
I remember Katrina. I remember Andrew.
And when Katrina happened, we had nowhere near as significantly as we're probably going to have from this fire, but we had quite a boost in the number of people who came here to Las Vegas and got displaced until that was done. One of the weird things about Las Vegas is people are very transient, and we're starting to see this now. During the pandemic, a lot of folks saw the opportunity to sell where they were or leave where they were, come to Las Vegas, live much more cheaply. But a lot of those folks have moved on to other places or gone back to where they came from, especially the Silicon Valley folks. They had so I think I think for sure this is going to be a short-term impact here. I don't know if this is going to be a 5 or 10-year impact here. I don't know if this is going to push us to the 3 million mark in the valley sooner than we think. I think for sure we're going to have a short-term issue here. The good news is, and it's not great news, but it's good news is, in 2024, I think it's something like 1,600 or 1,800 new rental properties came on the market. So we're doing the things we need to do to alleviate that pressure. To me, it's just a watch and wait and see. I think a lot of the folks who are going to leave California have kind of already left California. What it's going to come down to is what's insurance going to pay for? What are rebuilding costs going to be? And I think that's going to drive a lot of people's decision. And I don't think they're only going to come to Las Vegas. I think they're going to be looking at Austin. I think they'll be looking, just like during the pandemic, people are looking at Austin. They're looking at Florida. They're looking at Idaho. They're looking at Utah. One of the crazy things about our community here is after folks fled California 20 years ago, those same folks are now fleeing for Utah and Idaho. So it's I think this is going to be a short-term transient bump for us. I don't know if it's going to have a long-term impact here.
I would like to say, if you are thinking about Florida, we are hurricane-free since 1852, and we are tied for the fewest amount of shark attacks. So just throw that out there.
I feel like we should not be tied for that. I feel like we should be.
No, we're tied. We're tied at the bottom. There's some other, and I know that the minute that becomes like this big thing, some kid's going to stick his everybody who doesn't have any shark attacks. But I'm just waiting for some kid to stick his hand in the aquarium over at the MGM and get bit by a shark, and then explain that one. But yeah, I remember when the hurricane last year came up from Baja, and everyone from Florida flooded Reddit and Facebook and the local groups going, you need to do this, and you need to stockpile, and you need water and gas for your electric. And everyone who's lived here for a decade went, stop inspiring panic. It's never going to make it across the desert. A desert is death to a hurricane. And turns out, nope, we didn't even get much of a thunderstorm out of that one.
Also, you're Florida.
Yeah, seriously, you're Florida. You hold nothing for us.
There ain't no website called a Nevada Man. I mean, maybe there is, but it's probably not the same thing.
No, it's definitely not a show on Netflix. So yeah, or Hulu. Yeah, one of those shows. All right. I am worried that we are going to see the bubble that needs to be adjusted for our housing market extended, and that means it's going to be a bigger bubble and a harder burst. And we're all property owners here, so that's a problem. But and I think
if you're in favor of a bigger bubble and a harder burst, put one in the comments.
I am always a fan of that.
If you're not in favor of that, put 0 in the comments.
Oh, there you go. So and I am a little bit worried about that. You kept your house when we all lived here in the early 2000s, but I remember, as the market was heating up, the story of you having real estate agents getting into a bidding war in your driveway while you sipped coffee 30 minutes after you put the sign in your yard.
Yes, sold it under 24 hours, 20,000 over asking. It was really quite ridiculous during the housing bubble. And then I sold the one we bought to pay for my divorce. So, there's that.
So if you're thinking about a future divorce, invest in property in Nevada. We actually do know a fantastic real estate agent. So if you are considering moving here, let us know. We've actually a very good friend of ours. She's wonderful.
Amazing.
Yep. She's the one that got our house when we came back.
Mine as well.
Yes. All right. No,
Not mine. Although she was my renting agent when I was renting that house out.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
All right.
So Slider made a great point. He said that he thinks this is going to be something of a temporary adjustment. I'm going to respectfully disagree. That's what I do.
Conflict. Okay, here we go. Drama.
I woke up today and chose violence.
Watch our January 23rd, 2028 episode.
I think there's a lot to unpack here with not just regards to what's happening here in the Vegas Valley, but out in LA as well. Look, these wildfires, they kind of saw them coming. They believe more, the conditions are going to be ripe for more of these. I think you're going to see some government policy come out on what can and cannot be rebuilt. And obviously, all cities have high-income folks in them. I would say LA has a preponderance of high-income folks.
Especially in these areas.
So you're going to see, as you both alluded to, construction costs going up, construction crews going up. There's going to be a drought of resources because those resources are taken, much like the water was, but that might be a different topic. Then you look out here and you go, hey, there's no state tax in Nevada. Hey, I can, if I was fortunate enough to have insurance out in California, another problem with that area, then maybe I take my insurance money and instead of rebuilding, I look to go somewhere else. There is the high-speed railroad being built here between here and Los Angeles. And
foreshadowing, more on that in a minute.
Yes. Well, it's funny because we come in with these cold topics. We all only know the hot topic. I'm going to lead into my cold topic, which is kind of good to lead into your cold topic. And this all goes so funny how it all works. Great minds think alike. Okay, so I think that this could be kind of, at the risk of those that say don't California my Nevada, I think LA and parts of California could see an extension out here in the Vegas Valley. We've got 2 of their sports teams. We've got all the sports teams. We've got racing. We've got sports. And to my cold topic point, I think the Vegas Valley is ready to be more than just Sin City in its traditional sense. I think it'll always be Sin City. It'll always be gambling. It'll always be high entertainment. It'll always be one of the best places in the world to come and have a good time. Everything from a 21st birthday to bachelor party, divorce party, and everything in between.
Stop selling, bro.
But
seriously,
we've got this sphere here. We've got art here. We've got stuff happening here. There are studios looking at building studio lots out this way. Right? You talked about the desert being an insulator of things. There's not usually bad weather. You don't have rain days. You don't have smog. And you can still do business in LA by taking the train. Is the Vegas Valley going to become an extension of California for good or bad? The taxes, the property value,
or California becomes an extension of Vegas.
Oh, that'd be so much better, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we've got Marky Mark, we've got Snoop Dogg.
Yes, we have Marky Mark. He's working with, I believe it's Warner Brothers to build a studio out here. Several $billion. Jobs. You were an extra when you lived down in Atlanta.
I was.
So, I mean, are you going to grow some glorious hair out and be an
Oh,
extra
yes.
in movies again?
Totally. Absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm. Walking Dead Las Vegas. I will be in the background 100%.
I love the idea of sitting around a movie studio all day, just being waited to be called in and just be like the guy in the corner that's taking a note. That's me. Yes. So yeah, there's my lead into to my stuff of do we think the Las Vegas Valley is going to be more than just a destination for gambling and good times and all the things associated with Sin City, which are awesome things, by the way. Not saying anything has to change. Love Sin City just the way it is, but we always like when our cities are growing and bringing more cool stuff to the valley.
Yes. No. I having been through LA and friends in LA, I still say we are an infinitely superior place.
Defend your position.
I concur. I won't make you defend.
Yeah. No.
I say defend it. If you're a superior place to LA's not happening.
What does LA have that we don't?
Silicone people.
We have that.
I would say we probably have more silicone people per capita
Hollywood.
in Vegas.
In the same way
I
that the reason everyone used VHS over Betamax and they all ended up going DVD over Blu-ray, LA will lose to Las Vegas because porn came here first. Where porn goes, society goes.
I would say, and you've been to some
not
of these,
Texas because
you've been to some of these charity events with me.
Yes.
I would say what LA has been historically known for, many of those people now live here. There is more silicone probably per capita here than there is in LA right now. There are probably more. This would be a fascinating thing to look up. We don't need to do it now, but I would bet we have more plastic surgeons per capita.
I would certainly I would argue that ours are better, and it is
Really?
Nevada is a destination not just for that for the obvious stuff. It is a destination for this sort of thing. There are people that come here for reconstructive surgery, and I do think that that's a spin off a lot of things.
The reason I think our quality is better is because in Hollywood you have to look good on camera. In Vegas you have to look good in person.
Oh,
mic drop.
If the wire would not come disconnected, I would absolutely drop this mic.
I will drop mine right now.
And Nevada has proven repeatedly we are business friendly.
Right. Whether you are a stripper, whether you are a showgirl, whether you are a server in some capacity, a hostess, whatever your job is in Las Vegas, you have to look good in person. There's no fixing it with post production.
No, that's valid. And I'm gonna sell out my good friend Slider over here, and right here I'm gonna post a link to his interview on the leadership mindset of an OnlyFans who looked at it as a business model, and you can learn something from that.
God, I love it.
Actually, post a link to remind them to watch, because that episode's not coming out until next Thursday. So it'll be coming out 4 days after this goes.
The link will get there after Thursday.
Link the channel. That'll work.
Okay, we'll do that.
Put
That's
one
fantastic.
In the comment section.
Yes.
And she looks good in person. She looks good on camera too.
Well, she's obviously smart.
So,
all right. Leading into your coal topic.
Yeah. Well, I think we covered my gold topic. I mean, the
Oh,
Vegas
that
Valley,
we are infinitely
the Vegas Valley has gotten a lot of good things happening.
Yeah.
And again, I never want to say that the fires are a good thing for the Las Vegas Valley. That's not what I'm saying.
We will not profit off of tragedy.
As the landscape changes in and around Southern California, it will also change in the Las Vegas Valley. And I think that we're going to come out winners. I hope we both come out winners because, you know, I'm an American and I want all the states to do well.
Yes, outstanding. Yes. Slider, what's on your mind, buddy?
Play the video.
Play the video.
Oh,
That's right.
2 weeks in a row with a video.
2 weeks.
I'm not going to
he is
video
so
every
high-tech.
time, but
He is making us look bad. All right, here we go.
I had a whole different thing in mind, but this. Play the video, and I'll tell you the story.
All right.
Oh boy, there I was.
And now we're back live.
We're back live.
Seamless. That was.
So I'm glad you thought that martini looked refreshing.
Yes.
This video entirely AI generated.
Shut it.
Entirely AI generated.
That was all fake. Well, again, let's talk about.
Honestly, I thought
It's
it
fake
was.
as anything.
I thought it was AI enhanced the way the dice were kind of like tapping on that a little bit. Now that I'm running it through, the Thunder Chickens looked a little fake there. That was and we get to call them Thunder Chickens because we were all stationed at the base where they're based out of here in Las Vegas. Yet another reason why this is a better city.
I
But
used to film the Thunderbirds. I love them. I think they're awesome.
I love their maintainers. I love all the support people, but we're still going to call them the Thunder Chickens.
So there are a million things wrong with that video. If you watch it again, you'll probably find them. Maybe we should have a contest for our viewers and whoever.
Oh!
Drew Carey show. You said,
Yes.
you had to find all the things wrong in the video. And you found them all. You won a prize.
Yes, or the old
Which
like
I think was to go
here's
see a
here's
taping
me
of the Drew Carey
here's
show.
me dating myself. The Marvel Comics No Prize, where you would had to write in, tell them what was wrong in a comic book, and then explain why it actually wasn't wrong. And they would send you. It was effectively a comic book of outtakes, comic book of bloopers. The Marvel No Prize. Oh, that is yes. So please tell us everything you saw that was
Yeah,
wrong.
put it in the comments.
In the doodly
or
doo.
apparently you can call Drew on the phone, and he's going to tell you about that later. So, but so I got up this morning. I had some work to do. I opened up ChatGPT, and there's a new thing to choose in my ChatGPT called Sora. And I'm like, what is Sora? So because I decided to procrastinate and not work, I clicked on Sora instead of doing the things I was supposed to be doing. And then I realized I had heard Scott Galloway talk about this on one of his podcasts, and it is generative video AI. So this video quality, like I've done stuff. I don't know if you guys have done stuff with AI images. You did stuff with the graphics for this, right? It's still a little, I don't want to say cartoony, but it's still, it's not quite that. I hadn't seen it was quite that photographic quality without putting in lots and lots of effort.
Mm-hmm.
A realism
This-
aspect, would you call it?
I would just say, I would just say it looks a little cartoony, but I was like, let me play with this a little bit. That video, 10 minutes worth of work tops.
Wow.
10 minutes worth of work. Now,
If you are only listening to this on Apple Podcast or Spotify, in our show notes will be a link to this video being hosted on our YouTube channel, so you can watch it later. But yes, so that is stunning to hear you say that.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, you are a technical guy, you are an engineer by trade, but wow.
No, this was me going, dice on a craps table. That came out.
Wow. Okay.
And I'll give you guys one hint on the video of what's wrong with it. When you look at the 3, when the 3 and the 4 finally come up on the dice, the 3 isn't like 3 in a line. It's just 3 dots in 3 of the corners. So those are the kinds of things that if you're really looking close, you're wrong with it. But
because the computer has never been drunk at a craps table, just dying to get 1.7. I just need to make a little bit of the money back. I just need
no,
a little
you guys will find all kinds of other things that are wrong with it. But I mean, not
on
bad.
No,
right?
on the surface,
not
it
bad.
it almost fooled me. That's yeah.
But if I took all the effort I put in, 5 minutes worth of work of typing in stuff to chat, then I would have to let it render for a little bit, and then 10 minutes because I had to grab all the little 5-second clips, and I wanted to put them into one video, and I knew how to do that in my software rather than do it with that, and then I wanted to throw the music on because I wanted to get it Vegas-y. So
that's pretty dope, man.
It is. I mean,
and if you didn't catch all of it, you might see a lot of it in our future intro video because it's a good video.
So, but I mean, what do you guys think about AI getting this good?
Oh,
I saw a meme the other day, and I feel guilty because I'm looking at AI as a tool, and I've had a lot of fun with it, and I've created some stuff for some other projects, and yes, even our intro, and even as we sat down to kind of conceptualize the show, we used a lot of AI. But I am a little upset because the idea was computers were supposed to do crap like laundry and my dishes so that I could have time to create art. And the computers have screwed us because now they're creating art and I still have to go do my laundry. Like later tonight, actually. So, but it's.
Do you have to, or are you?
That's true. I can just go to work crunchy tomorrow, but it's. So I enjoy it as a tool, but I do see it's a threat, and it is accelerating, and it is creating a world where we are going to lose the ability to create unique things and artsy things and imagine them because the computer is going to do it for us. I think that's going to stagnate a lot of our progress as a society. And I don't like that the creative positions are being taken away by AI so that we can do more of what should have been robots' jobs of just, shuffle paper, staple, move on kind of a deal.
Now, what I will say on the creative side, what I was going to do with this was I just wanted to show you guys the dice on the craps table. And then when that came out the way it did, I said, oh, I should have the Thunderbirds. I should have a martini pouring. I got more creative because the tool, I didn't have to sit there messing around with the computer. The computer did the art, did the generation of the art, and I could think of concepts.
All right. So you are using the AI as a brush.
I think that's fair to say. So I put the Showgirls in just for you. What did you think of that?
First of all, I love you, man. Thanks for thinking of me. Thanks for thinking of me. Always appreciate the thoughtfulness that you bring.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't want to screw up one of my cold topics that I've got for our next show that is in the AI vein. But yes, it is so much easier to edit than create, I believe. I've always had that with, whether it's reports, whether, if you're just staring at a blank page, a blank canvas, a blank anything, for me, it's very difficult to get somewhere. It is much easier for me to look at something that's already created and then edit and shape and say, ooh, that should be more blue, or that should have this better language.
I have saved every paper I have written since college, and it is migrated from computer to computer because it's easier for me to take an existing thing that I've written.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I have recycled papers in college and absolutely gone. I can use some of the same sources and make absolutely. Easier to edit than it is to create. And so in that vein.
I don't even have my podcast notes from last week, guys.
Right.
He lives in the now.
I think it's so cool that you can do that, get something there. And like you said, this show owes a good part of what its structure and name is.
None of that part is profitable. So any of the things you think you're going to charge us money for, no, none of that part. All the part that makes money, which so far is none of it, all came from us.
But it's not designed to make money now. It's designed to, it's kind of like crack, right? It's designed to get you hooked. is designed to get you, oh man, I haven't had to do that in the last 2 years. And then now it's $5.99. What's $5.99? Come on. And then it's $7.99. It's just same with streaming, right? It was all, $5 to stream.
Cut the cord. You're paying $130 for 70 channels, and you only look at 20 of them.
I'm streaming 9 different things, and I'm paying $150 a month, same as I was when I had cable.
Yeah. And porn, you're screwed. Porn, like everyone's making a living in porn. Nope.
Well, I mean, you don't talk about generative AI. And again, we're reaching into my cold topics for the future episodes.
For more old guy rants where we shake our fists, keep tuning in to Sin City Spin.
Oh, all right.
The computers are out to get us.
All right, speaking of computers and automation.
Also, now I have a mission to ruin every one of Drew's cold topics. I'm going to be hacking his iPad so I can bust them all out the week before.
All right. So we, Drew, you mentioned the high-speed rail. We talked about some of that stuff in rapid transportation. And if you do not know this, the Elon Musk Boring Company, their first success after promising a 4-hour trip from Los Angeles to San Francisco via the Hyperloop, now consists of a series of tunnels that run under the Las Vegas Convention Center. They are not smooth. They are horribly uneven. They have cheesy LED lights, and they are actually used only for Teslas to shuttle people from place to place. There have been 3 articles recently, and all of those will be linked. A lot of them on Jalopnik, one of them by my friend Bradley Brownell, and they're all talking about it's a joke. It's just a terrible, stupid thing. And I've ridden in the tunnel. It is not.
So you've ridden it? Absolutely,
yes. The novelty of it, cool. It is not a replacement for reliable public transportation. And they are now expanding it to Resorts World. They're going to drive, have stuff from the convention center all the way out to the airport. And it is not going to alleviate congestion. And it is not going to help people that need reliable rapid transportation. And this is being used to shut down and kill a lot of rapid transit projects, including the rail that is going to be running from here to Los Angeles. Now, the reason, and there's an explosive interview recently done by the CityCast Las Vegas, David Figler, who is the host of that show and a writer and a lawyer. One of the challenges with that is this was not public funded, so they are not subject to the same level of oversight. However, on 3 occasions that they document, they violated OSHA protocols and polluted our groundwater by not properly venting off their drilling water. So this thing is a long con. And I get it. We just talked about how great Las Vegas is. If we're going to have rapid transportation, it needs to be a touristy attractive thing like the monorail. What's that name again?
Monorail.
And so we have to have these kind of, we have to have these kind of gimmicky things. But the best way to get back and forth on the Strip, if you're here on a budget, is the Deuce, the number 2 bus, and it runs up and down, and you can buy a week-long pass for like $15. It's fantastic. But people are looking, we've got the Hyperloop Tesla tunnel, so we don't need to establish light rail. We don't need to establish these things. We don't need to invest in our public transportation. And it's a lie. It's a lie and a long con. And we are the only state out of like the 4 that these were proposed to that bought into this, because it was not a government-funded project and it was not going to have the same level of oversight. The casinos bought into this. So I'm concerned because this is being shown as, proof of concept. It totally works. It totally does not work. It is awful. And one of the things recently here, SEMA, one of the largest automotive shows, Jalopnik, the host, they took it from their hotel to the convention center. And then as a proof of concept, walked back to their hotel from the convention center on surface streets. Guess which one was faster?
Surface streets.
Walking, despite having to wait for the horrendous traffic on the Las Vegas Strip. So if you are being sold this bill of goods, don't believe it. And I'm not going to say dig it up or shut it down, because it is cool, it's novel, it's touristy, and that gets people to come here, but it is not reliable public transportation.
Well, if it wasn't government funded, then, I mean, what real voice do we have if there's a company that comes and says, hey, we want to do this, thing that sounds really awesome, maybe on paper. We're going to sort of fund it and figure it out and get some tax breaks and do whatever companies do. And then it'll just be our lovely gift to you.
That I got no problem with. They're using this as a case study to say, oh, look, you don't need to invest in light rail, tiny city in the Midwest. We can do all of this with the Boring Company and Teslas. And no, you can't. You can't.
Don't be like Ogdenville and North Haverford to further our Simpsons reference. Look, I think we all just need to wait and watch what happens with this. They have something like 38 miles of tunnel approved over the last 5 or 6 years. They've built less than 5.
Yes. Oh, and they've completely violated half the OSHA regulations. They don't have permissions to go under people's houses. Yeah.
The county is lukewarm on this right now. At best, we'll see what happens. But divide 5 by 38 or whatever the approved number is over. I mean, they started this 2018, 2019. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. All they've done is dig tunnels under the convention center, which, Greg, convention center is huge. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah, no. If you've not been to the Las Vegas Convention Center, it's impressive.
Sometimes they run stuff over to Resorts World, but most of the time not. And I think maybe there's another place, and this year for SEMA they had the exit right outside of it's on the convention center property, but you walk right across the street to the Fontainebleau. Yeah, so I'm gonna wait and watch. We'll see if we hit mile 6 anytime soon.
My take on this is when I first heard about it, what I saw in my mind's eye was that scene from the movie I, Robot, where all the cars are just kind of going 9,000 miles an hour and there's like flawlessness and, and it's.
Which is how, that's how it was marketed, 100%. Right.
And that's what I saw in my head. And then it was this big push of we're going to get everyone off the surface streets because it's safer and it's cooler and this and that. And they're electric, so you won't have the smog, et cetera, et cetera. This all, I mean, again, you said it's a long con. I bought into the con. I haven't had the privilege of being in it yet, so I can't say that in my mind it still is supposed to be the iRobot movie. And I hope someday it is. But in my mind, I think we're going to be flying around, whether it's jetpacks or personal freaking drone vehicles. There's so much out there right now in the mass movement of people space that I think this boring, this tunnel thing that we made, it may just be another Vegas novelty. I'm with you in a wait and see capacity because I do really believe the mass movement of people is going to be so different in the year 2030. I mean, it may not be flying cars, but it's going to be significant. Like before there was an iPhone and now there's supercomputers in our pockets. I think travel and transportation is on the cusp of that kind of change.
I like it. All right.
Well, I'm glad you do.
Future cold topic. Those little portable electric scooters that everybody's using there. I think that's the final mile solution.
People movers. Yeah,
yes,
let's talk about them. I like it.
All right. Not now, though.
Not now. For today we are done. So I'd like to say thank you for joining us. If you agree, disagree, or just want to correct our math, you can tell us where the good tacos are, or we can tell you. Drop us a line at sincityspin.podcast@gmail.com. You can call or text us at 702-721-7328, and that phone will not ring. It is not going to bother me all day long. But on occasion, I'm going to get online and check it. So there's that. So I don't know if it's a phone number or an email or, man, I am dating the hell out of myself. All right. We're on Facebook. Speaking of dating myself, we're on Facebook. We're on Insta. We're on Reddit. We're on the thing formerly known as Twitter. I think it's called X now. Speaking of all the Elon Musk's wonderfulness that... Oh, my goodness. With that, thank you all very much for tuning in. Y'all stay safe. I hope luck will be your lady tonight. And if you wind up broke, have a swinging good time.